join us here today. Andy, if you could advance the slide quick. So Meridian is a technology services company. We are engaged in helping folks with business needs assessment and consulting around business process optimization through use of the Oracle NetSuite platform. We, in a pre-sales mode, can help folks understand optimal solution configurations, business process alignments, focus on the solutions that from the NetSuite portfolio that might fit, be they CRM, accounting and finance, fulfillment, operations, procurement, HRIS, etc. And if you would advance the slide again, Andy. Today, Andy Erpelding will help you understand what CFO Systems can bring to the table. Often we see our client base in need of additional consulting or services in the areas of accounting and finance or business process, strategic alignment. I'll let Andy go through in more detail their capabilities, but we have created this series to work with organizations both on the business consulting side and software services that round out the complete package of solutions from NetSuite. I will draw your attention to the right side of this slide. Our next partner spotlight will involve Shepherd CMMS. That's a solution partner that we have worked with that deals with the extension of the NetSuite landscape into field operations, be it field services, field inventory, and maintenance management for field technicians. If that resembles needs that you may have, we'd love to have you on the event on March 24th. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Andy to take us through CFO Systems offerings and services. So with no further ado, Andy, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Making sure everyone can hear me. Looks like that's a go. My name is Andy Erpelding. I lead the Kansas City office for CFO Systems, as well as handle the new market development nationally. I am here based in Kansas City, and today we're going to go through some of the highlights of CFO Systems, what we do, why we do it. First slide we're going to talk about here, really want to call our attention to our purpose, our passion is to help our clients grow. We do that in a bunch of different ways that I'll tell you about. And really our niche, if you think about it, is providing financial leadership on demand. So that on-demand capability is interesting and unique to us most recently, as we can provide hourly, fractional interim services, but we will get into that. About us. So in 2004, Brett Freebert out of Omaha, Nebraska, saw the need for providing high-level financial executive leadership to companies, but recognized that there's an opportunity to do this not just for one company in a traditional, full-time equivalent model, but doing it for many companies at the same time and providing them, a portion of your week or a portion of your time, and really providing and honing in on the things that need to get done. In 2019, we launched our CFO S3, which is CFO Systems Search and Staffing. We call it S3. And so that's been led by Steve Getzfred out of the Omaha market. And really our objective is to provide strategic partnerships with our trusted advisors, our clients in that middle market, lower middle market space. Since 2004, we've grown pretty considerably. As of last month, we are up to 90 professionals on the team. That team consists of CFOs, controllers, senior accountants, HR professionals, procurement and supply chain professionals. So from an administration standpoint, CFO Systems does most of the back office, so we can handle a lot of the back office that your clients or companies would need. A couple of things we don't do: we're not a CPA firm, so we don't provide audits or we don't do taxes. Can help you with that, but easier to say what we don't do than versus what we do. And our objective is to help you grow. Someone has said, and I'm going to steal this, but we're here to grow the top line, maximize the bottom line, and enrich the storyline. Really like that, because we're providing that insight and information to business leaders to make decisions and move their businesses forward. Here's a map of where our directors and clients sit. Again, this has grown since 2004. We really have significant presence in the Nebraska and Kansas City, Iowa markets, San Diego as well, and growing in Oklahoma, the Pacific Northwest, Atlanta, with targets in 2022 to grow in Atlanta, Dallas, and Denver. One of the things that we're most passionate about, and I think is unique to CFO Systems as a whole, is our core values. And I think it's unique because we actually live in their real core values. We go through and talk about this on a daily basis with our entire team as we're making decisions to retain clients, exit engagements, promote, and bring new team members onto the team. So I'm going to go through our core values just a little bit. So our first and most important core value is family first. We feel that the support team that we have at our homes is giving us the opportunity to do great work for our clients, and so we want to make sure that they feel supported as well. When we're talking to the team, if there is a family event or a work event, we're going to work together to try and get you to that family event because we want you to provide that support for your family like they provide us. Second core value is get it done. The PC version of it. So we are a team of leaders that have about 1,800 years of cumulative experience. And so when we're coming onto an engagement, we're starting to do work for a client, our first and primary focus is to set that scope of work and really get after, roll up our sleeves, and provide that leadership and that execution in moving the business forward or professionalizing that back office. Third is team. Like I said, we have almost 90 professionals on the team right now. Typically when we're engaged, you're not just going to see one professional from CFO Systems. You're going to see a CFO and a controller, or a CFO and a senior accountant, CFO and an HR professional. So we like to provide that team support so we can make sure that we are holding ourselves accountable and moving the business forward in that fashion where we can provide that team approach and partnership. Finally, we talk about truth and transparency. You can think about that in two ways. Externally, don't do anything illegal, immoral, outside of GAAP, outside of compliance. But really, we think about that from an intrinsic or an internal value of, if you don't know the answer, ask the question. If you don't have time or capacity from a team standpoint to take on a new engagement, let's talk about that. So we're delivering great client service to our partners, our trusted advisors, and our clients. So to round that out and kind of put our core values into one sentence, if you're truthful and transparent with yourself, you'll know that you need a team to get it done so you can focus on your family. Going through and talking about who recommends us. Typically in our engagements, we are introduced by bankers, lawyers, accountants, insurance brokers, strategic partners, and probably the highest and most recommended referral sources are current and prior clients. as I said, when we're in an engagement and working to get stuff done and executing at a high level, that usually gets shared and talked about. And so we really appreciate that when our trusted advisors recommend us to their friends and family and colleagues. So going into why they recommend us or what we do, I'm going to switch to the next slide because I talk about this in 3 parts. Part 1 is our trusted advisor relationships. We have deep relationships with our advisors, be it bankers, lawyers, CPAs, to help utilize their expertise in bringing the best solution to our clients. Again, Meridian is in that group where if we have a NetSuite implementation and things are going really well or we're talking about it, they're one of the people that we call to provide that high level expertise in getting a solution for our clients. The unique thing about that, again, we're a team of professionals that like to get work done. Our roll up our sleeves ability is something that we take pride in, and we're not the firm that will come through and provide you a recommendation of what you need to do. We'll provide you that recommendation and then follow it up with how we are going to get it done or how we are going to help you get it done. We've had a long-term successful track record in helping our clients. We've been around for 17 years, and some of our clients have been with us for as long as 10 years. And so it's not just a project-based, one-time event where we're helping our clients. We can be in and around and helping our clients grow for a long, long time. And I feel like with those 2 pieces of success, we have a really proven process. We've been growing over the last 17 years and doing things right by our clients, right by our trusted advisors to allow them to recommend us and continue to grow. Our second part is our human capital. So our team members, our directors. One of the things that attracts most of the members to our team is flexibility. Like I said, we define success differently. It's not how many hours you can work. It's how our team members define success. Sometimes that's part-time, sometimes that's full-time. We have individuals on our team that are working into their late 80s because they love what they do and they're very good at it, and we provide that flexibility for them to define success in a way that makes the most sense to them. We have a lot of variety, so the intellectual curiosity that we provide when a team member is working on 1, 2, 3 clients at the same time gives them the opportunity to see new things, see different things, overcome and solve different challenges. When we allow that, we actually provide a lot of learning and development for our team members that they can take that information that they use on one client or a challenge that they've seen at one client and bring it to the next one so they could solve it a little more quickly or have seen that experience and know how to handle it the first time. With that, our team members typically, with 85 team members across the board, there's a lot of opportunities for us to partner and share experiences. It's not an unusual occurrence for us to see an email go across our entire email system asking a question or asking about familiarity with a certain product or a system or a accounting guidance. And a lot of times we'll step up and help and partner with our team. So lots of flexibility, lots of variety. And the last piece from our team standpoint is there's a high earnings potential. Our team members have the ability to bring up to 98% of their billable rate home to their families, which is something that I don't believe most firms can say. Our third part in where we focus our client base is typically that lower to middle market type organization. Think of it as 5 million in revenue to about 100 million in revenue, with our sweet spot really being in that 40 to 60 million in revenue type company. Unique to us is with that size of company, we are bringing professionals that have experience with large companies, growing companies, companies that have gone through capital raises, debt raises, private equity transactions. And so we've been able to use and glean those experiences to provide a really high level of service to our clients. What we like to do and what our one of our uniques is, we'll fix your pain today and deliver a permanent solution. So our primary goal is to not have a long-standing relationship that is not growing and changing and iterating to continue the growth of the company. We really try to work ourselves out of a job by providing great leadership, systems, processes, organization, and building your back office team, your accounting and finance team to a professional level. And that's why we feel that our trusted advisors recommend us. So what do we do? There's a lot of words on this slide. Thinking about the top side of it, it is financial leadership. So think about budgeting, forecasting, planning, understanding what to do with PPP funds when that all came to be a couple of years ago, understanding and providing that leadership within the accounting department, setting team meetings, having check-ins, creating a development plan for your accounting team. All the things that you would think of from a CFO or controller, we act, walk, talk like your CFO, like your controller. We wear your jersey. We just happen to be paid via 1099 versus W-2. We also provide procurement leadership. That's been very, very important over the last 2 years with all the challenges in supply chain sourcing. And a lot of companies have utilized our services. We have a couple professionals on the team that do a really, really great job in helping lead that supply chain initiative and professionalizing supply chain within the middle market. A growing piece of our business that started 6 years ago was human resource leadership. So think of it from a CHRO, VP of HR, HR generalist, and an administrator. There's a lot of disciplines within HR, from payroll to compliance to performance plans to benefits to 401ks. And we have a team of professionals that are nuanced and are experienced in a lot of those different disciplines where we can provide a lot of leadership into an organization that might have some needs. As you're growing, there's a lot of really nuanced rules and compliance as you get over 100 employees that require you to change some things around with your business, and we can help you walk through that. And lastly, capital projects, thinking about funding, M&A support, trying to figure out where to grow and expand or build versus buy. We help provide that partnership and be that person on your side of the table when we're talking to lenders or investors in looking to help your business grow. One of the things I like to talk most about is our firm success. I'm not going to read through all of these. I'm going to provide some highlights here, but the thing that I'm most proud of is when we can go through and help a company grow to the point where we're saving jobs. We're saving, that ability for their families to put food on the table, Christmas presents under the tree. And that's something that is really meaningful, really tangible to our team as we're going through and helping some of our clients grow out of a challenging situation. Again, we also help clients grow quickly, and really the biggest thing and where I feel like our value and benefit happens is when you're hitting that hyper growth stage and you're growing faster than you can keep up from a back office. We'll help come in and professionalize that, provide some calm in that chaos, and help you manage the team internally as you continue to grow and succeed. So leadership on demand, I love this slide because it goes through kind of what our service offerings are. On the left-hand side of the slide is CFO Systems. On the right-hand side is CFO S3. And you'll see these check marks here. So if you think about this in a three-layer pyramid here, most of our time on our CFO Systems side is spent as time share or fractional. This is where we are providing 10 to 80% of a full-time equivalent employee in that controller, CFO, HR space. Those engagements are typically on the lower side of the middle market, 5 to 50 million in revenue, where our engagement length is anywhere between 24, 36, 60 months. And so we are that person in the long term helping lead and grow the organization. As that organization grows and outgrows the need for a fractional CFO, we'll get into that interim or that second layer of the pyramid, where companies in this section are usually a little bigger in size, 40 to 100 million in revenue, where they've either had a CFO in place or they're looking to put a CFO in place. And this is where we partner really well between CFO Systems and S3, where we'll provide that interim leadership from the CFO Systems side, but then also we'll be providing that search and staffing, finding that full-time CFO, controller, HR professional that meets the culture, the needs of the company to help them continue on that growth. Typically, those engagements are anywhere from 3 to 12 months, depending on how quickly it takes to perform the search. I'm sure everyone right now can recognize that there is it's tough to hire. It's a tough job market for employers to keep and retain people, and that's why they're calling it the Great Resignation. Finally, the last or the top layer of the pyramid here is projects. And this really goes across the board. Any size company where we can augment their staff. Think of it as a new ERP implementation, a new 401k RFP, going through and helping create a budget and a plan that you can use for forecasting. And so think of those in any size of company. We've helped or augmented AP staffs for $2 billion revenue companies. We've come in and provided short-term kind of firefighting for companies where their staff just don't have enough bandwidth to take on all the projects to move the business forward. And then on the S3 side, pretty simple, and we'll get into S3 in a little bit here, but on the interim side, we can provide staffing and temporary employees. If we are not in a market that we showed on slide 3, we can go into that market and help you find it. And then also from a direct hire standpoint, we will help you find that full-time equivalent that you're looking for. So getting into the S3 side and talk about our team for search and staffing. It's led by Steve Getsfred, who's a CPA, has 13 years of recruiting experience. And typically who we hire as recruiters for CFO Systems search and staffing are that ex-controller, ex-CPA that happens to want to get into the recruiting side of the business versus being part of the CFO Systems side. And what we find is really beneficial from that, because we know that when you have someone that's been in that seat, that CPA, that controller, that knows the numbers, knows what it requires, they can ask a few different questions than a traditional recruiter potentially. So we pride ourselves in going beyond the resume, is what we say here, is just providing that understanding of really getting into the candidates and the potential solutions we have from a staffing and a direct hire standpoint to help the company and understand their organizational needs. So with that, here is our kind of bio page. We're headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska, with significant locations in Kansas City, San Diego, Iowa, Atlanta, and Denver. Here's our firm phone number, our website, and contact information for myself and our team. Doug, I'll hand it back to you.
You bet. Thank you, Andy. Really appreciate it. Just want to make sure you can hear me. I apologize for the technical difficulty in my late arrival, but much like CFO Systems services in the mid-market that we both serve, as Andy mentioned, many organizations have lean IT staffs, and we can be Meridian can be a resource for staff augmentation or applying skilled resources that may wear many hats to onboard, new employees, train them on a system, or help in enhancements or other elements of optimization. We've met and gotten to know many of the team members that Andy described with CFO Systems, and their role is, very similar. Your technology journey is separate and distinct from the needs that you have in finance and accounting, but there are many times in decisions where those two environments intersect. And we're happy to introduce both S3 and the fractional leadership that CFO Systems provides, and they've helped in a number of our clients. Whether it's accounting or strategic financial advice that you need, or valuation, or input on the financial side of any big change or decision that's upcoming. We really appreciate the partnership with CFO Systems and wanted to introduce them to folks today. So Andy, I can't thank you enough. Wherever you are on your financial or technology journey, I think CFO Systems and Meridian together, can certainly find a way to help. If you'd advance the slide one more, Andy. Likewise, our contact information, you could get more information here at our website or send an email to sales@meridianbusiness.com. And I'll remind you, 24th of March, we'll do another partner spotlight around field inventory and field services with Shepherd CMMS. So for all those from CFO Systems that are online, thank you very much for your partnership. And Andy, appreciate the overview of your organization, and look forward to helping many more folks in the near future.
Likewise, thank you for your time today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.